Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 6 decades later, humbling himself to Halima Sa'diyah, radiyallahu ta'ala anha, spreading out his garment for her, or for Shayma, his sister, foster sister, radiyallahu ta'ala anha, or with Ayman, radiyallahu anha, right? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam still humbling himself the way a child would to their parent, and remembering those blessings. Well, what happens to us later on in life when our parents become older and dependent upon us? Look at the example of the Prophet ﷺ. Much later on, he still remembered. That's shukr, which translates into wafa, loyalty over the long term. With our spouses, Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, right? When the Prophet ﷺ later on in life continued to give on her behalf, continued to praise her, continued to make mention of her, continued to make dua for her, continued to long for her. Not just after she became a very old and weak woman in his lifetime, right? After she gave her best years to him. But after she passed away even, آمنت بي إذ كفر بي الناس. How could I not do that? She believed in me when no one believed in me. أنفقت بي إذ حرمني الناس. She spent on me, no one else was spending on me. So the Prophet ﷺ, much later on, is still remembering that. And so how are we with our spouses? The Prophet ﷺ with his friend Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. When Rasulullah ﷺ passed away, he had over 100,000 companions. Think about that. Over 100,000 Sahaba. But when Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, his first Sahabi, walked into the room, you still knew it was Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And when the Prophet ﷺ said, close all these gates when he was passing away, he said, I have repaid everyone except for Abu Bakr. I can't repay him. Leave his gate open. Subhanallah. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was number one when he was one, and he was number one when they were over 100,000. How are we with our old friends? How are we with those who were there for us in our lonely times, who took care of us? And much, much later on, even if we don't need them anymore, we still show them gratitude. Lastly, subhanAllah, even with non-Muslims, even with supporters, Mut'im ibn Adi,